Are you happy with how you're currently living life? I like to take complex things and break them down to very, very simple measurables. One of the easiest measurable parts of life is to ask yourself, are you happy with how life is currently? Because it's yes or no. We can come up with all sorts of stories. We can come up with the residual stories from when we were younger, where you are right now. But deep down, I mean in your heart, are you happy? If so, fantastic. But if not, and most people I find are not, or they, even if they think they are, there's usually 1 to 2 areas where they want to become happier. And that's why, I don't know, it was a couple years ago, I started looking at different foundations of life, called them the 5 foundational freedoms. But there are 5 areas that people that were living the recovery way, but also very successful, according to the world, very successful, according to them as well, basically hit all the facets, and they're enjoying life at a very, very high level. And so I created this thing called the Happiness Quotient, and it's actually a measurable scale to see each day, am I living in my ideal framework, my ideal quotient, where I am really, really happy? Not just the superficial, throw the plastic smile on, because I did that for a long time. That's when I was the most depressed. That's when I was suicidal. That's when things got so freaking bad. To the world, everybody thought I was in this great place, but I was dying inside. So what I mean is, for you, are you happy in here, in your heart? Not just the mind of saying, well, I should be, but are you? The reason why this is coming up today is because we've been spending a lot of time with clients in this avenue of happiness and fulfillment. And there's a direct correlation to when you work on the 5 foundational freedoms and you actually are content and happy inside, the desire to use, to sedate, to numb out, to turn to addiction in unhealthy ways really diminishes. So I'm going to have you consider that your addiction, where you're struggling, is tied to your level of fulfillment across these 5 areas. And so we want to look and just here's the great thing about this. We do a little bit of work in each area every single day. And it's this law of compounding interest. For the first several weeks, you don't really see a change. And this is where most people give up. But here's where it gets even crazier. Actually dealing with this right now, we have a person, and that's actually in our virtual program, probably around 80 something days. They've been doing the work nonstop. They're getting insane results, like crazy results, measurable results. And because they're doing so well, they stopped doing the work and they started noticing this funk. And so we talked about the happiness quotient, and they got recommitted, which is fantastic. But that is the second part of this whole discussion, which is where we start seeing the results. We start feeling really good, and we stop doing the work that got the results. And then we find ourselves turning back towards this place of unhappiness where we look to sedate. So it's the 2 things, looking at the 5 foundational freedoms, doing the work every single day so you can actually scale and measure your level of happiness, and then continuing to do the work without fail, keeping consistent. And it just continues to compound and compound.